It's officially August, boys. You know what that means. We have reached our final form. Madden 21 comes out in a few weeks, and today EA just dropped a huge bit of news about franchise mode. I know you guys have been waiting on it. They talk about what they're going to do for Madden 21, also what they're going to be doing going into Madden 22, and just by looking over this really quickly, 22 looks like they're going to be giving you guys a lot of things you've been asking for, but we're going to go over all of this. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, put your bell icons on, because there's going to be some Madden 21 gameplay I'm going to have for you guys about a week and a half, so if you don't want to miss that and some other Madden news that'll be coming out, make sure your bell icons are turned on so you don't miss the updates. Now let's get into it. It says here, these are the 4 key things we like to update you on regarding franchise mode. We're going to talk about the franchise team, Madden as a live service, high-level franchise commitments for Madden 21 and 22, and your involvement as the community. That's what the blog says. So first it says our franchise team. As we said in the video update in July, to better deliver on community feedback, we are reshaping our franchise team to increase our focus specifically on the direction that's described ahead. We are making changes, including dedicating a higher percentage of team bandwidth to deliver a greater investment in core franchise features through Madden 21 post-launch support and in Madden 22 launch and beyond. We are passionate franchise fans just like you, and we're placing some of our most passionate franchise voices to lead the creative path forward. So it says here, that's a great start, because that's always one of the things people have said. Well, why don't you just make the franchise team bigger? Or why don't you just, put more resources toward it? Face of the franchise gets their stuff, other modes get their stuff. Gameplay, of course, is always going to get its fair share of attention. The regular franchise mode just hasn't been seeming to get that bandwidth, and they said they're increasing that, so that's a good first step forward. And now it says here, Madden is a live service. We operate Madden NFL as a true live service. That means that we deliver content, features, heck, even new modes sometimes like Superstar KO throughout the year. And Madden 20 post-launch updates, you saw new X Factors and Superstar abilities, a new mode in Superstar KO, new house rules and playbook changes in head-to-head seasons, new scenarios in franchise involving celebrities and teams in Superstar KO, weekly commentary updates, weekly roster changes, etc. The game you buy at launch is only the beginning of the annual Madden 21 journey. Our commitment to you is to deliver meaningful change to the game throughout the year, and Madden 21 will expand our dedicated live service team to allow for more focused delivery of franchise improvements based on your feedback while continuing to evolve the broader game across all Madden fans. Our current plan is to deliver Madden 21 updates and 2 to 3 title updates over the course of the coming months. So, if you're a franchise guy, I would still say, okay, that sounds great, but I wouldn't actually buy the game until these updates take place, because why should you? Why should you buy the game until they actually update it? Because otherwise, you're not really getting anything new. But what it says here is they're going to actually be using a lot more of that post-launch support for franchise mode itself. Like they said last year, they did add new scenarios and things like that to franchise. This year, they're going to be looking to do more than that, because truthfully, franchise didn't get any updates for the release day game like the rest of the game did. So you could look for that to come over the first 2 to 3 months of the game being released. Next, it says high-level franchise commitments in Madden 21 and 22. It says here, we're sharing with you some of the areas in franchise we'll target both in our live service for Madden 21 and next year for 22. We have to first acknowledge that this work requires a lot of planning, so while we can't commit to an exact timeline right now, we can share areas that we're targeting meaningful changes for in Madden 21 and beyond. So here we go. This is Madden 21 post-launch support based on community feedback. It does say subject to change, so you always have to read the fine print. They might not deliver all this. That's why I say wait until you see this stuff getting delivered before you buy the game. But this is what they're planning to deliver in the first few months the game is out with title updates. First is tuning. Okay, let's see what we got here. Improved progression and regression of players. Improve core player progression into the future such that X factors and other abilities for older players work well with the incoming rookie class. It also says here commissioner tools, but it says that they're going to talk more about it later in the blog, so we'll get to that in a minute. AI personnel management. The AI will make better team management decisions in the draft, free agency, and trades. Playoff and Super Bowl presentation. Improve and refresh. I've seen that complained about a lot, that the Super Bowl and the playoff presentation has been the same for years. I don't even think there really is any crazy presentation for the playoffs, but it's the same Super Bowl celebration every year. So they're saying they're fixing that in the update. That's a decent change there. I have seen that complained about just a ton. He says here, X Factor and Superstar ability customization. Something else I've seen a lot of people ask for. They're introducing the ability to customize X Factor and abilities on all players, allowing you to customize your roster as you see fit. So there you go. I know that's something that's been asked for a lot. That's a nice change. Career stats UI. UI just means user interface. improved UI showing historical player performances, more immersion and depth on how players have progressed in your franchise. Something else I've seen asked about a lot. Trade logic, more fidelity, depth, and authenticity in the trade logic. We know the trade logic in Madden is some dookie, so we'll see if they can get that right. Retirement user interface, better insight into retirements each season to allow players to react and manage. I think currently in franchise, they don't show you who actually retires, or the screen like goes away like really quickly or something and you can't like refer back to it. So it looks like they're changing that. And there's also going to be a playoff update. They're going to add an authentic playoff bracket screen to see who's in, who's won, and who's up next. So for post-launch, there's some decent things in here. This isn't like any of the overhaul things that people want, but being able to customize abilities, I think I've seen a lot of people ask for that. Better presentation for the postseason, I've seen a lot of people ask for that. The AI being smarter with their roster, the career stats user interfaces needed a big overhaul. Trade logic, all that stuff. Decent changes. I don't know if that's going to make a lot of people want to buy the game. Might make some people buy the game, but that's what they're planning to do for 21. Now here they're going to talk about the commissioner tools more in depth. They said here they're going to give you the ability to undo transactions, reduce friction, and control over player movement, contracts, and trades. They're going to give you the ability to approve trades and abilities to reset a game in case of a disconnect. So I'm assuming this means for like online CFMs, they're going to give you a little bit more in the commissioner tool. So that's what's coming for 21. Definitely think there's some good things in there, but it's not like the big meat and potatoes, but that's what it looks like they're aiming for 22. It says here, for Madden 22, it's still very early, but we are at the very beginning of planning and production of next year's product. With that said, we've been actively discussing some of the areas we'd like to focus on, stemming from your feedback and player engagement. Here are a few areas. While not fully committed yet, we're exploring creatively. So again, these are not fully committed yet, but this is what they're exploring creatively. Coaching staff and management. People have been wanting assistant coaches back in the games for years. That would be great. Scouting improvements. People have been wanting scouting improvements for years. That would be a great change. New scenario engine enhancements. The scenario engine last year wasn't that great. It seems like it's been untouched for 21, so if they can enhance it and make that better for 22, that would be nice, because as in its current state, it leaves a lot to be desired. New team chemistry system. I don't know exactly what that means or how that works. Commissioner tool improvements. So more content is also added here. It says, example, relocation/branding assets for franchise, new uniforms, names, and logos, to relocation options for more variety and depth in careers, plus other key additions that will reveal as we get deeper into the Madden 22 development season. Now, of all of that for 22, definitely the biggest things there are the coaching and staff management and the scouting improvements. Those are two things that people have been begging for years. And then the third thing is definitely the content for like the created teams, like relocation and branding assets. That means like you're going to get different logos, uniforms, and different options. The options have been the same, I think, since like Madden 15 or Madden 25. So if they give you more places to relocate, more teams and uniforms and colors and logos, people would appreciate that, because if you can't give people create a team, at least give them a fresh relocation, to work with. So those three things I think are the things that sound the best for 22 so far. The scenario engine improvements, the team chemistry and stuff, that's whatever. But the other three things are kind of things I've seen asked about a lot, and I think people would like to hear that. Now they go on to say your involvement as a community. So that's where we're at. There's still a lot of work to be done, and there's things that will take time. The target frame for our next communication update is just before the NFL season kickoff in early September, where we hope to share more specifically the roadmap for projected improvements for future title updates. The last thing to cover is how you, the community, can stay involved. During the Madden 21 closed beta, the team utilized a feedback platform called Madden Voice. This is an online forum where community members are able to share feedback and upvote priority topics that our teams are able to review, investigate, and identify the best way to address them. Not only is it important that we collect your feedback, it's important in how we communicate to you these new features, updates, and everything else coming to the game. So it says here, we'll look forward to start the Madden 21 season on August 28th. We will have more updates on the Madden Voice platform closer to launch. So to kind of end this off here, they basically say that they will be giving you more of an update once the NFL season kicks off. So at that point, Madden will be out for about a month. and they'll probably come out and say, okay, look, this is what we're targeting to update for the next franchise update, and they'll let you know when each of those specific things that we talked about earlier, like the tuning and the playoff and Super Bowl presentation and that stuff, they'll be letting you know when you can expect that. And the Madden voice platform is what they're going to be launching, it looks like soon, which is going to be kind of like, if you know what Reddit is, a Reddit forum, it's going to be like a Reddit for Madden feedback. That's what they use for the beta, where you can upvote, you know, things to the top that you think are the biggest priority. So it'll probably be split into like gameplay, franchise, ultimate team, you know, the different sections of the game, so that you can really chat directly with the developers and then upvote the biggest priority, so that the things that the community wants the most will always be at the top of the list, and those are the things they'll focus on. I think that's a really good idea. We'll see how it works out, but that is the franchise update. Let me know what you think below. Are you excited for the 21 updates? Are you more excited about what's coming in 22? Is it still not enough? Let me know, and as always, I will see you guys next time.